Here we go. And we're back. Just the two of us today. We got Blue Angels down at the beach, so Rink's at the beach. Still can't get Cody to take a night off work to come talk to us. Although he'll, I'm telling you, we got to get him on at some point because the man's got a lot of good things to say, and he's so entertaining.
No, I know. We'll get him on one of these days when he's not out of town for baseball or working.
Yeah, and then he is out for baseball quite a bit. He and Shay, man, they follow baseball more than anybody I know.
Oh, I know. They travel for her little brother and then go to Braves games and then Brody and then yeah.
And then half the text message you get is him leaning on his counter eating Oreos, watching Braves baseball.
Yep. Oreos and Domino's.
Yeah, and Domino's, absolutely. All right, so you just got back into town recently, competed at Nationals on Sunday.
I did.
Wasn't the best weekend for you.
It was probably the worst it could have went. Like, it couldn't have gotten any worse. It literally couldn't have gotten any worse. So, long story short, I sucked. I bombed out. I went 0 for 6. And what makes it even worse is I hit my in the snatch, I hit my openers in the back.
Yeah.
Just for confidence. I always hit my openers in the back because I know in the past I've overpulled it and missed from behind because I've been too hyped up.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you left.
So, I mean, back I went 150, 155, so 330, 341 in the back. Smoked them. There was like no pause in the bottom. There was like no bottom out. I was like, boom, stood it up, bam. Get on stage and just, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was nerves. I don't know if it's because I haven't competed in a while. It was very frustrating. And then I missed the same weight like 3 times. Not I missed it 3 times. And I usually don't, like, going into this cycle, I barely miss. I'd probably miss, if I even missed on a day of training, it was probably maximum 1 time. There have been a couple days where I missed twice. Mm-hmm. But it was more techniques. It wasn't like something that was like because it was heavy. If it was a heavy day, like I would just call it and not ruin my technique. But like it was just, I don't know. I was on stage. It was like a couple weeks ago. I was in here. Everything was just back on my heels. Like it was the first day I went without. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I went without straps just to feel heavy weight in my hand, and like everything was just on my heels. I was rocking like everything. I was making everything, but all my weight was completely on my heels, not in the middle of my foot. And then after that, I went up to 160 and I smoked that with no miss. And honestly, I probably should have done that. Like after the first one, like because I pulled it, and I was there, and I was just off balance on my heels. I probably should have just went up in weight and just like counted that first attempt as a make. Yeah. Because then I would have made the 160 because that's what normally happens with me. But my coach wasn't there. He had an emergency, so I had to I want to stick to his plan. It didn't really turn out the way we wanted to. And then clean and jerk, like I knew I wasn't going to be great. Clean and jerk just because I just had my shot in my shoulder in like May. So it was the first time I could really clean and jerk, back squat, front squat, jerk, clean in general since August of last year without any pain. Wow. So it's been like 7 months of just snatching is fine.
Yeah, just trying to get through it, right?
But my leg strength's super weak. And then just missing the snatches just fucked me up because literally I should have just hit my 2 openers and I would have got silver. Like I didn't have to do anything else. That's what makes it the worst. I literally could have just hit my openers and got hit my openers like I planned on. Yeah. Or even went lighter in my openers. I could have went like 150, 180 and got silver. You know, just But it is that's what makes it worse. Like I'd rather have my openers like not even been medal contention, but it was that because it was gonna go like 155, 160, then 165. You know, which would have been nice. And then clean and jerk would have just been like 405, tongue pounds now, like 405, 420, and then up from there. But like I was even like the weeks leading in though, my clean and jerks were actually feeling good. Like I hit 190 a couple times, like really good, which is 421. No issues. Only issues I had was when I went up to like 95 and 200, just bottoming out just for not being as strong. Yeah. But it was just awkward. Even my cleans, I was super far back on my heels. So got to fix that. But now me and coach talked and we figured out what I need to do mentally, physically, technique-wise to get ready for the AO finals in December. Then we have a meet here in August that I never planned on doing. I was going to run it, but now like I need to compete. Like I just
get some more lifts on your
just get on stage and then there's the AO2 in end of September or November, which is in New Mexico, which I'm probably going to do.
And you wouldn't have had you silvered across.
I wouldn't have.
You
done
probably
that.
just would have done AO finals.
Yeah, I would just done AO finals, just because there's not a lot of meets around here.
Yeah.
And I think that's it too. Like not having to. We had the meet here in December, but it was like it was on my platform, my bars. Like it wasn't.
And there was just the three of us. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's just
us moving weights around for you. You were the only one lifting in here.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was on stage. And in reality, if you don't count that meet, I did one. Only 5 real meets if you don't count the in-house
Wow.
National/American Open last year. So, I mean, I can't be mad. I've done 5 meets and I have 6, 7, 8, 11 medals from national meets. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be mad, but it's because, I mean, I got to realize, too, like, I'm still new in the sport.
New in the
2.5
sport, and it's
years.
disappointing because you know you still could have hit silver. Like it was within your grasp. It wasn't like you were reaching
the
for
worst
it.
is I hit in the back.
Yeah.
Like I fucking
Yeah, you literally know you
I hit
could
in
have
the
done
back,
it.
and I was like, hell yeah, this is gonna be easy, and then get on stage on it. I haven't watched the video, but my coach said it looked like I was kind of looking to the side. He said I looked off, like on the start position. But
Yeah, I was thinking the effects because you got a little bit of food poisoning the week before.
well, yeah, no, yeah, a week or two before.
I was
like,
wondering if it was still like you're because I mean like you deal with it while it's going on, but then
Yeah.
it takes a couple of days for your body to bounce back and strength to come back.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that could have been definitely part of the clean. I mean, the cleans definitely felt heavy.
yeah,
I mean, I would say I probably didn't have a solid crap until like up there in Detroit.
Wow.
And so for 2 weeks, it was like,
yeah, and that just
It was-
it takes a toll on you.
so.
Yeah.
But-
Well, but now hey, it's done. Let's get better. You got a couple months to get ready for it. You've got some things in the meantime. Get your headspace
Yeah.
right, which is such a big deal. I mean, this sport's it's a game of inches. And,
No, for
and
sure.
Even and really even less than that. We're not even
Yeah,
really
it's
talking
just-
inches.
Just perfect, just hitting it just right. And the crazy thing is too, when I weighed in, I honestly probably walk around at the heaviest in the weight class. Maybe Wes Kitts walks around a little heavier because he's super thick
Yeah.
with 2 C's. But like, I mean, I walk around at 250 to 260. I'm not gonna get up that heavy anymore. I want to stay a little bit lighter, but I walk around like 250 to 260,
Yeah.
and I weighed in at like 233,
Wow. And you got to be below what? 235?
239.
230. Whoa.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I just did like a normal cut, and I just day before I was 109.8, so I was like 241, and then day of I was 106.
Yeah, that had to be nice though while y'all were there. Like you could eat whatever you wanted.
No, yeah, and it's not
You
like I
weren't-
really
you weren't
changed my
stressing.
diet. I just don't eat as much and just do a water load. But I was definitely the lightest of everyone. I think everyone was like 108, 109, stressing out. Like I was stressing a little bit because you get up there and you're like 109, 110, 110.
Yeah.
But then day of I was 106, which is the lightest I've been since CrossFit times.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll get there. But that brings us into a good topic for today, talking about diet,
Yeah.
right? You kind of hit on it. You haven't been this light or that light where you were since the days when you were doing CrossFit, going to regionals.
Yeah.
Still had a ton of strength, but then weightlifting, mass moves mass. So if you can keep the size correctly, it's a lot better. It's a lot
Yeah.
better. But then how to go about achieving those goals through what's on the plate, because that's the biggest thing. The misconception, one of the biggest misconceptions is training is all about what you do in the gym, but so much of it is those 23 hours outside of the gym.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, diet is crazy, and it's so crazy how different it is now compared to like CrossFitting, or now compared to when I played football, or even now compared to where I was when I was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can attest to that too, because you're older than I am.
Absolutely.
Like, just how it changes. But like, you burn a lot of calories in here training, doing weights, but you're not really burning a lot. I don't really think. I think people think you're burning way more than you really are when you're just lifting weights.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize like you probably burn like 300-400 calories for the 2 hours you're on the platform, or like doing your squats and this and that. Where in CrossFit, and I train 3 times a day for an hour at a time. Like I was like,
Well, in CrossFit, you've got that intensity going the whole
Yeah.
time, whereas in here, yeah, I mean, it's putting that effort out, but it's
it's for the
you
5
do a set
to
and you rest.
15 seconds.
You do a
whatever
left
the
and you
movement
rest.
is. Yeah.
It's not a constant 2 hours.
Or,
Like
yeah.
and CrossFit isn't a full hour for a class time or workout either, but it's, you know, you're warming up.
Yeah.
You know, typically you have a strength, and then you have that intense WOD from, you know, what, 2 to 15, 20 minutes, depending on what it is that day. I mean, seldom are your workouts longer than that. I know some of the stuff you were doing there for a while, but even those hour-long workouts, that was really once a week, right?
Yeah. Like the hour-long stuff would be like once or twice a week. And on those days, that'd be like all I would do, too. It's not like I would do, like on a normal CrossFit day, I would, a couple days a week, I'd wake up early, get on the bike, do something just easy, just some sort of, just get some cardio in. And then I would do my strength. And then I would do like the class WOD. And then I would come back later in the afternoon or later in the night and do like some competition WODs or something else. So like, you know, so the middle of the day was about an hour, hour and a half. And then at night it was another hour and a half, but it was just figuring out what I needed to hit intensity-wise and movement-wise to get better. And then on those long days, there might be a strength, there may not be a strength, but it was like an hour plus long, just Metcon. Like, I mean, I remember when we were down in the old gym, it was like an hour and 30-minute Metcon we did. It was awful. It was like five. It was like horrible. It was five. It was like four. I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was 3 or 4 rounds of something, of the movements we did. But there was 4 movements, and it was max reps in each movement for 5 minutes. And you went immediately to the next one, or you got like a 90-second break. But you did it 3 times.
Oh gosh.
It was something crazy, but I mean, got in shape. And those crazy ass workouts just build up your capacity for anything else you do. Or like I remember when I was a GA at South, I'd row on Sundays for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'd get tired rowing for 5 minutes now.
I mean, that's marathon.
It was.
What the half marathon was about an hour and a half.
It was long.
I think the marathon was in the 3 to 3.5.
15,000 meters, something like that. I don't know. But it was like, but now I get tired going 5 minutes.
Yeah. My, how the times have changed, right?
Right. I get tired walking up steps.
Yeah. All right. So when you're looking at your diet, are you counting macros? Are you just trying to get, like, do you kind of know, I mean, break it down. Like, I know I have to watch macros.
Yeah. All right. So like this past week, since Sunday afternoon of taking the biggest turd of my life competing wise, I've eaten really bad. Just this past week has been bad.
And the feels a little bit, plus you did all that prep getting into it. So,
and I ate super clean.
Yeah.
I maybe cheat once a week going into it. But I mean, I like eating clean. Like, I feel good. Your body feels better, but then mentally you need a break.
Yeah.
So what I do, and what I'm going to start doing on Monday, is like, I'm not going to diet, but I'm just going to like get back to that healthy lifestyle. And I've realized I did my macros with my Fitness Pal, and if you've never done that, definitely do it for 3 weeks, and you'll kind of get the hang of, all right, this is how much I need to eat. These are the portion sizes. And then after 3 weeks, like, you don't even need to use it anymore because you know what you're doing.
And even realizing, like, you know, what a chicken breast, how many calories of protein are in there.
Yeah.
How many, like the things you are eating, like where you think you know, and then you're like, whoa.
You really don't know.
Yeah, and how easy it adds up,
Like,
and that snacking can get you. Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, like, I cut down a lot of my... So with the weightlifting, with me being more of a strength athlete, I don't eat as much fats as I used to. And that was hard because I would eat a lot of ground beef, a lot of steak. I love that stuff, but like having those extra fats, which I enjoy, and that make me feel better with my joints and stuff, it's either that or carbs.
Yep.
And you need the carbs for the energy and the explosive stuff in here, but you don't really need the fats as much. So like having ground beef, it's like you have a cup or two of ground beef at every meal. I mean, unless you're getting like 96, like you're getting almost just as much as fat as you are protein.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, so say like you're having like 30 grams of, especially with the ground beef we have, because we slaughtered our own cow, so it's probably not the leanest. I mean, we strain it and wash it and cook it and do that. We do that a couple times to get as much fat off as we can. But I mean, if I have a cup of ground beef, I'm probably looking at, anywhere from 20, 30 grams of protein, and then anywhere from 10 to 20 grams of fat as well.
Yeah.
Right? Which feels good, but it's like you don't need that as a weightlifter.
No.
Just because it's more protein, carbs, The carbs are going to help you build muscles. The proteins are going to build muscles. The carbs are going to help you get through your workouts, those sugars. So you have to be careful with that. But, I mean, I don't count right now. I kind of figured out what I do need. Like, pre-workout, I'll have the chicken and either rice or potatoes seem to feel better for me. About a cup and a half of potatoes grilled up or fried up a little bit with some oil and vegetables. And then post-workout, I'll either have some steak or ground beef, or sometimes if I'm having a rough day, I'll switch it, and I'll just feel a little bit better if I have some more fats.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much everything. And then breakfast is like egg whites, turkey sausage, sometimes smoothies if I wake up early enough, but I don't want to wake up the house grinding up a smoothie. But it's just real clean food, and then every once in a while, have some Mexican or something like this, but that works. I mean, I'm probably only taking in like 3,000 calories a day.
Okay. Wow. I figured it was more than that.
If that, right? But just super clean. It's a lot of food because I'm eating probably 2 cups of vegetables every meal. I'm eating 5 to 6 meals, but it's all super, super lean.
Yeah.
Really more like, think about high density, low calorie.
Yep.
So for instance, like one thing I'll do when I get home, because I'm always hungry when I get home. I'm in here sweating all day, and I get home, but I really don't want to cook a lot of food. Is we have these zoodles that we made. There's zucchini noodles. We have
The spiralizer?
spiralizer at the house, and we already pre-did it, and they're frozen. And I'll get that, throw some ground beef, a little fat at night, kind of makes me sleep better, makes me feel better. Maybe throw a little bit of chicken or some andouille sausage, something like that. Marinara sauce, a little bit of cheese, and like I'm good to go. I mean, that's high. The calories are depending on the meat you choose, and the type of cheese, but like relatively low calorie, and just the density is super high. And then another thing we have too is we have these like so-called healthy noodles that are made out of like mushrooms or soy or something that's whatever. You don't need to eat them all the time, but I mean it's like 60 calories in a whole pack, and if you mix that with the zoodles, and then you have like probably 2 pounds of food, and like calories are probably maybe 500 calories max, but the density is ginormous compared to just regular pasta.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of people, if they listen to this, are like, well, don't you need all your carbs in this for weightlifting? Well, I'm 6'2", and I've been 240 since end of 9th grade, so like my body's pretty set at this weight. So like it's a set point theory to where my body's not going to change much, so I do gotta be careful about what I eat. And I'm sure it's the same with you. Like you've been probably the same size for a very
since 9th or 10th grade,
yeah. You've been so like your body's used to being a certain weight. Like you can cut, you can gain, but it's always going to come back to right where you're at as long as you're doing what you do. But if I eat too much food, I remember I ballooned up to over 260 during the pandemic because I was just training, sleeping, eating, and like I felt good, but like 260, like I gotta lose like
260 for you is big.
I gotta lose like 20 some pounds.
Yeah.
Like I held it well, but it's like, you don't want to be that big. So you got to be careful, especially in a weight class sport. Like you don't want to get too out of control.
Yeah.
Like maybe some days are way higher carb, some days are lower carb. But then like with CrossFit, like that was a totally different diet that I used to do. So like,
did you get into like the paleo or?
Sort of, not really paleo. I did more keto stuff, and the reason being, and people go, well, don't you need carbs for all the crazy stuff you're doing? But in reality, if I'm working out 3 times a day, I'm going to need energy throughout the day. So I eat a lot of fats. I'm talking about a lot of fats. I would have bulletproof coffee in the morning. All my meals had like coconut oil or avocado oil or avocados like in the vegetables.
Yeah.
So like I was eating a lot, and I didn't even count macros or anything, but I ate so much fat just because I knew I was going to work out anywhere from 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah, and if you're working out 3, you can almost eat anything you want as long as you're getting the calories in to give you the energy.
And with the fats though, that's going to give you a sustained energy throughout the day.
Yeah. Whereas
carbs, they'll spike you up, just like people like you see in here, and you see a lot of people online, like in weightlifting gyms or powerlifters or strongmen, they'll eat like gummy bears and this because it's going to spike them for like the 30 minutes that they're squatting, and then they're going to crash, which I don't like that feeling. Like I like to be, that's why I don't eat any crazy carbohydrates. Like I don't like the gummy bears. Trust me. I like the sour. I like that shit. I'll eat it if I want. But like I don't eat it here because I know it's gonna crash. I'm gonna crash.
You're gonna crash.
And I need a sustained amount of energy. So I try to eat a little bit cleaner. But I would have some potatoes, and I would eat some crappy too. Like don't get me wrong. Like I would eat hamburgers and McDonald's and chicken nuggets if I was super tired, or pizza. But like you said, I worked out 3 times a day. But one thing I did do before every workout, I'd have some sort of like just complex, like super bad carbohydrates, like Hanover Schneider pretzels, like the honey mustard onion ones, like a pack of those, $1 from the store. They just fire me up and I'm good to go during like one of those sprint type Metcons.
Huh.
But with the meat and stuff, it was I didn't have as much money then because I was just starting the gym. I was out of college, so I mean, I got the cheapest chicken, sausage, whatever I could eat, vegetables, and just put a lot of oil on them, and it sustained me. And I mean, that's when I was my leanest. Now I did work out; the intensity was crazy, the hours in the gym were crazy, but I mean, I was definitely my leanest and best in shape.
How light were you back then? I mean, I've seen videos and pictures. So I mean, you were definitely a much leaner guy.
I was probably anywhere from 228 to 232.
Which still for a CrossFitter is huge.
It's ginormous.
For a competition CrossFitter is gigantic.
Yeah. So I mean, I was still like a big guy.
Yeah.
But my body type was, if like right now, I feel like if I got down to 232, or if I cut down now, I would look different. I would probably be just as lean, but my shoulders, everything's is way broader now from the weightlifting for the past 2.5 years, you know. But the diet does like play a huge part. Like I was never really tired. I felt great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could always go, and just those fats really sustain you. So like if you're having issues with like your diet, like maybe you should take some of the carbs out. Not saying go keto, because I wasn't complete keto. I never did the test strips. I never did any of that dumb stuff. But like I just knew that my body felt better on fats.
Just up your fats. Cut
and
your
I was
carbs
still
back
super
some.
strong. I mean, I was still cleaning 400 pounds. I mean, there's a video, I don't know if it's on my Instagram or Cody's. Like I can remember I went to the CrossFit gym and do like 385 triple or 5 jerk, like, and just work clothes, like barely warmed up. Like I was still super strong.
Yeah.
I was really efficient with my movements, but it was just because the way I ate, which I wish that would transfer over to the weightlifting, but it just doesn't. The nutrients that you need for a strength sport are totally different from the need from a endurance sport, which people need to realize. Like everybody hates on the CrossFit for the paleo and this and that. Like paleo is just pretty much just eat clean.
Yeah.
Keto is like eat no carbs, eat fats, but you got to find a good in between on both. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't understand macros and micros, how are you going to understand how to fuel your body?
Exactly.
I mean, look at some of the top CrossFitters. They eat pizza and they eat all this bad food, but they train really hard, but all the bad food it has more fat than does carbohydrates, and then it has more carbs than does proteins.
Yep.
And that's like just go. And when you eat super clean, when you're doing that, not really gonna have a lot of energy, because it's like with the weightlifting, I say I want high density, low calorie, because I got to eat a lot, but I got to maintain my weight. I got to be smart. With the CrossFit, it's like, let's go, like high calorie. Who cares about the density? Like eat all the food.
And that's also the difference between competition CrossFit or
being healthy,
being a competitor, and then just working out to look healthy, to feel good.
No, yeah, totally different
for your 1 hour a day type thing. Because he don't get confused. He's not talking about somebody that goes to a CrossFit gym for the 4:30 class and then when they get off work and then goes home. You don't get to eat whatever you want.
Well, no,
he's talking about the tip of the spear that is doing a minimum of 3 workouts a day that are super intense.
Following a strict program. And at the same time, like when I was doing that too, I can remember like on Fridays, I kind of turned into like when I started doing the weightlifting. Like on Fridays, this is when I was single, I would either stop at Little Caesars. I'd get 2 pizzas, and you knew where my old house was. I would at the Walmart. I would eat 1 pizza before I even got home, which was like a 5-minute drive maybe. Then I'd eat the other pizza when I got home, or I'd go to McDonald's. This is when McDoubles were like actual $1. I'd get like 10 McDoubles or like 8 McDoubles, 4 spicy chickens, and just eat the burger or the patty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like the chicken breast, which had carbs because it's fried and breaded, but like I wouldn't even touch the bread. And that's when I was doing CrossFit, and like that would just fuel me for wake up Saturday, do a team workout by myself for an hour where everybody else had a partner. Like it would just fuel me for that stuff. And just thinking about what I used to do training wise, like intensity, and like I don't know how I did it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they do it either. And then, I mean, do you miss it?
I mean, it was fun. Like I don't miss. I miss not getting out of breath doing things now.
Oh,
I get
no
out
doubt.
of breath doing everything now. I get tired doing like 2 cleans, where before I did like one of those comp train workouts and did like 225 cleans under like 4 minutes 30 seconds. Like I was tired. It was like 50 reps. I get tired doing like 2 reps now.
Yeah.
Like it's different.
That different energy pathway, man.
Like when I watch Anthony do his stuff in the gym, I'm like, man, I can't believe I used to do that crazy stuff. Like I used to run for fun. Like I used to actually enjoy running. Now it's like, yeah, like
Never. I did CrossFit for 7 years. Never got to the point where I enjoyed. Now, I am the weird CrossFit. I fully enjoy the rower. I fully enjoy the assault bike. I would much rather do that anytime. If there was a run programmed, I'm like, can I just ride the bike? And they're like, you'd rather ride the bike? I'm like, absolutely, because I could keep that intensity level up, stay on the bike with the best runners in the class. Like, I mean, pumping calories out, get off, go right to the bar, to the rig, to whatever. But like running, it's in my head.
I mean, like,
and I'm miserable. Like, it's like, get to the stop sign, get to the tree.
And running too, like, I don't mean, like, I said I like running, but like, that was like in a workout if it was like 800 meters run. Like, that was kind of like if it was over 800 meters, and that would do it, and I would do okay, but it wasn't my thing. Like, it was like 400 meters, 200 to 400 meters, like, those were my jams on running. Like, I remember we did one of the years that we did all the game stuff, and actually really good on all the workouts. I was kind of top 15 to 20 on all the workouts that we could actually do at the gym that didn't have like a swim or something like that. But I can remember it was like we jumped over like boxes that were supposed to be hay bales and throwing stuff, and you had to run like to a sprint.
So that would have been 2017?
Probably so.
I think 2017.
It was the same time
first year of Madison with the hay
bales. It was the same time I had like a muscle up ladder. Like, you did like a muscle up, then you did a clean, and then you did like another 10 muscle ups. You did something like that. Like, you jumped off and you were just back and forth.
I remember something like that, yeah.
But like, I can remember like full speed sprinting. Like the last one, like I was dead after, but like it was like a legit full speed, like 200 meter, 400 meter sprint.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's like just thinking about jogging 400 meters. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that was always a good thing too. Like, when you're getting down to that those last like 10 movements of the WOD, whatever it was, and you could just I mean, you could give it everything you had and then just collapse on the floor. Yeah. There was that wonderful euphoric feeling, like, about just everything you've got to get, or to beat that competitor of yours in the class. Like, that one person, like, oh, they're not beating me on this one today. Like, oh, they're the better runner, and I'm keeping up with them, and it's a running heavy WOD. That was always great. That feeling of like, I can do this.
And another diet thing. If you live in the South, you know what a Winn-Dixie is more than likely.
Yep.
And if you were poor like I was, the Winn-Dixie steaks in the white package are from Mexico. Like, legitimately from Mexico. And when I was eating those, like, I was super strong. I don't know what was in it, or if it was just because I ate so much cheap-ass meat. But, just saying, people were popping for stuff from Mexican meat. So, so if you want to get really strong, go get the cheap white package Winn-Dixie meat if you live in the South. Guarantee you'll get strong.
There you go. You heard it here. Any diet misconceptions? Like, I know, man, I've heard some, being a bigger guy my whole life, don't eat late at night. Don't eat, carbs are your enemy. They're not. You need carbs. You need carbs to have energy to get around, to work out, to train, to do stuff. Now, what carbs you eat are definitely play a role.
I mean, I think it really all just depends on, like, everybody's body processes stuff differently, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I was eating a lot of rice at one point, and like, I had energy and stuff, but I was always bloated feeling. When I switch back to potatoes, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot leaner, feel a lot denser. Energy's about the same, but I don't feel as bloated, right?
I'm the same way. Potatoes are a little bit better for me than Ryan. Rice makes me feel heavy.
But then, like, you got, like, Victoria, my fiance, like, she can eat all the bad carbs and still have a six-pack. So, like, you have to know what works for you.
Yeah.
Like, are breads bad? No. Just, and how much, like, if you're going to eat, a sandwich, like, does a white bread, wheat bread, does it really matter? I mean, one has a little bit more fiber, but who cares? If you're having 400 calories of bread and it's like 40 grams of carbs, it's the same type of carbs as if you have 40 grams of potatoes. Just how is your body going to process that compared to that? Like, if your body processes the bread better, Eat the bread.
Eat the
So
bread.
the potatoes, you know what I'm saying? You just
Yep.
have to figure out what works for you. Same thing with like chicken or beef or pork. Like if your body doesn't feel bloated and doesn't feel lethargic after eating certain things, maybe you should eat that.
Yeah.
But it's just it's calorie in, calorie out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a carb's a carb, protein's a protein.
Pay attention to how you feel. Like
Yeah,
your
it's really-
body, your body will
body's
tell
gonna
you.
tell you, like, because I mean, I feel really good when I have a lot more red meat in my diet.
Me too.
Then I do chicken, but like I gotta realize, like, if I have red meat, I gotta be careful with the fats.
Yep.
So the days that I'm maybe training harder, have more red meats. Days I'm not training as hard, more chicken, turkey, fish, things like that.
Yeah, those
But it's
leaner
just
proteins.
really like how does your body react? Because everybody's different. There's no like set thing. There's just like in training. There's no set plan. Like maybe one day, like you have your shoulder issues. So it's like, hey, you're gonna take this out, you're gonna put this in, you're gonna do the bamboo bar, this, and the other, which is fine. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
It's just a template to use.
Exactly.
Like here's your calorie intake, like what you need to burn, what you need to take in, micros, macros. But see what works for you.
Yeah.
Because like I said, everybody's different.
Everybody is different. Yeah, that lie they told us in school where everybody's the same. It's not. I react differently to things than you do, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got to try some things out, eliminate some things, and
Yeah.
see like how do you feel afterwards. Dairy is a big one. Some people can process
Yeah.
dairy. Some people cannot.
Yeah.
Like it makes them bloated.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't react well to it. But other people, feed off of it.
No, for sure. And it's like Cody, for instance. He eats so bad, but like
Cody is such an anomaly.
he eats so bad, but like I mean, he honestly when he's consistent with working out without winning a schedule, he literally looks the exact same. Not really fat, like just thick, has abs.
Has abs.
Strong.
His definition in his arms.
You know what I'm saying? He eats all the carbs,
Yeah.
all the fats, and everybody's different.
If you talk to him, he's probably had Whataburger or Fusakli's or both
Yep.
in that day.
But like, and you got to add, and two, when he eats clean, he does say feel better, but he still has to have something bad, or he feels like crap during the day. Like
Yeah.
so, like you know what I'm saying? Like maybe you eat super clean, and then once a day you have something that's gonna give you that spike of energy, make you feel good.
Yeah, I know when I was doing my best, I got down to like 275, and it was like the doctor was telling me, he's like, dude, like have a cheat meal every once in a while. Like don't eat strict clean all the time.
No,
And it was like you start to feel a little bit better, like you do. You move a little bit better.
Yeah.
But if you eat clean, 80-85% of the time,
or find like things that are clean but taste good that you enjoy.
yeah, that give you
Like-
that
like,
satisfaction.
Exactly. Like if you like pizza, like there's so many options you can do. Like I really like the cauliflower pizza, but it gives me gas, so Victoria won't let me get that anymore because like I'll be stinking up the house for 2 days. But you can get like whole grain or just like regular like tortillas that are like 100 to 150 calories, are like 16 inches or 12 inches.
Yeah.
You just load it with tomato sauce and some chicken and some fat-free cheese, and like you're getting your pizza fix.
Yep.
Right there, like there's your
Yeah.
pizza fix. Or like you get tacos. We have these little tacos from Mr. Tortilla. They're like 15 calories.
Yep.
I mean, they're super tiny, like the actual tortilla, but like you can get your fix
Yeah.
off of that, like from your Mexican to like if you want to make a peanut butter sandwich or a turkey
I
sandwich.
know Publix has those. They have the cheese, the ones that are
Yeah.
like the cheese
I've
tortillas.
even had like the
They're
egg
pretty
white,
good.
even the egg white ones. Like as long as like you're getting your fix, like you'll be good. It's just when you're eating, like your bodybuilder, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. Well, what is chicken and rice gonna do for a while? You can get those same macros and micros in something that probably tastes better, that
Yeah.
you enjoy better if you just open up your mind a little bit and figure out how you can do it.
Yeah, and then are you just gonna fall off the wagon and go bonkers for a month
Exactly.
or longer, and then it's like, oh
Because
gosh,
you
I
ate
gotta work out of this hole again.
Exactly. Like, but people will be people.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, figure out what works for you. Try some things. Try some. There's not one tried and true formula. You just gotta work some things in and out.
Yeah.
Listen to your body. Look in the mirror. Talk to the people around you. Like when they'll tell you like your mood will change. Like you'll be able to know.
No, for sure. And like, don't be afraid to have a cheat meal. The biggest thing, like, still live your life. Like, you're not
Yes.
nobody on here. Nobody listens to this is a pro bodybuilder or a pro CrossFitter or a pro weightlifter or a pro football player. Like, live your life. Enjoy your life. Like if you're at a party, like, have a piece of cake.
Yeah.
have a cookie.
But
Like,
even the pro bodybuilders will tell you, like, you know, a cheat meal every once in a while is not the end of
Yeah.
the world. Now, just know when to do it and make sure you've earned it,
no,
right?
for sure. And I think too, like the biggest thing is people need to realize like you can eat clean if you do it the right way and still be good. Like I mean, I make what did I make? One day it was, I mean, it's hot every day down here. But one
Yeah.
day went home a little bit early and I made like a Gatorade smoothie, but like I used like the zero Gatorade strawberry or fruit punch. And I put like 2 cups of strawberries, which is like 120 calories, if that. Not a lot of, I mean, decent carbs, not a lot of sugar. Some Greek yogurt, some vanilla protein powder. And I mean, shoot, that's probably 400 calories, but like it tasted great.
Tasted
and like
great.
I got my proteins, my carbs, not a lot of fat.
Gave you a treat fix.
Exactly. Or like I would make so these other smoothies that are really good, like blueberry. Not as much. You gotta be careful with certain, especially like if you're cutting. Like blueberries are a little higher in sugar and carbs, but like strawberries aren't. Wild berries, blackberries aren't. So you can put those in there. You get some vanilla protein powder or chocolate or whatever you want. Some low fat, no fat Greek yogurt. And you just blend it up, and like it's a treat, and
Yeah.
it tastes good. And like, are you gonna get all the nutrients because it's ground up? Your body's not doing as much like eating a regular strawberry. No, but at the same time, giving yourself a treat.
Exactly.
Or at nighttime when I was not cutting, but like doing my weights, cut for the meat, I'd have like the wild berry mix at night. Put a little stevia or whatever fake salt or sweetener, and like 100 calories, and like I was good.
Yeah.
Instead of having candy.
Yep.
It just does it. There's ways around it. People are just lazy.
Yep.
People think you just gotta eat chicken rice.
Well, and then there's a big thing too. You just kind of hit on at night. It's that sleep. I know with myself, man, my body reacts if I'm on a good sleep schedule and I get a solid 7.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So much better the next day. The scale moves in the direction I want it to. The workouts feel better. The energy level is up.
Yep.
There's not that fogginess in my head.
No.
Like, and I think so many people take that for granted. They either, get up way too early, they stay up way too late, or both. It's like you got to get some sleep.
Yeah.
You can have that routine to where you're getting to bed at a good time. You're staying, you're getting that full sleep. Turn the phone off if you have to. Leave it in the other room.
For sure.
You know.
I mean, that's the worst thing you get in bed. Like, put the phone up.
Yeah.
Like, don't get on your, like, you're gonna sit there for at least 20 minutes if you're on your phone.
Oh yeah. I mean, how much time do you waste and you don't even realize it?
Oh, it's terrible. But like you said, just getting in bed and just figuring out what makes you go to sleep too.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing like the keto-ish stuff with the CrossFit, like my morning would be like a bulletproof coffee because it would easy. It'd be like 2 scoops of coconut oil, 2 scoops of butter, the coffee. I'd put that down, and then my first meal would be like ground beef or pork or chicken with vegetables and coconut oil, avocado oil. And I have like 2 of those throughout the day, maybe 3, and then something for dinner, but more vegetables and fats. And then at night I'd have like 2 scoops of peanut butter, and like I was good. That'd put me to sleep. Or now, since I'm eating cleaner, since I'm not expending as many calories, the fruit at night's not bad. Like people say, you don't have sugar or a lot of carbs at night. Well, if it makes you satiated, it makes you feel good, and then you go to sleep, who cares?
Yeah.
Like your body's gonna burn calories at night. There's a lot of misconceptions. Like, oh, if you have this, you're not gonna be able to go to sleep. Your body. Oh, I literally drink coffee and I can go to sleep. Like, but like figure out what works for you. Like, is it some peanut butter? Is it some fruit? Is it eggs? Is it just have a snack at night that you know is gonna like calm you down, bring everything down, and get you tired.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And then I guess the only other thing, we stay hydrated, right?
Oh yeah, lots of water, especially like down in the south. I mean,
The humidity is here. You've got to drink water.
I mean, I don't know how much. There was one day in here I lost so much weight. It was so hot, and I wasn't even doing like a water cut. And I think I got down to like 241 before I even started like a water load.
Wow.
Like a month out, because I was about 242 for about 2 weeks before I started my water load or water cut a week and a half out. And like there was one day that I was like 247 the night before, and when I got home I was like 241. Like,
Wow,
it was
6
so
pounds.
hot. Yeah, and that was at night. Like you don't lose that much weight. So just gotta stay hydrated. One, it's just good for your body's
Needs
made
it.
out of water. You need it. I mean, it's good for your joints, good for your muscles. I mean, if you get dehydrated, you can tear a muscle, you can pass out, you can tear something. Your body runs off of water. If you're dehydrated, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, cadavers and stuff, like if anybody's ever done, not autopsies, but in school and taking things apart, like you gotta be careful with cadavers because there's no fluids. It's, the joints will pop, the muscles will pop. Like you gotta be careful with that.
I did not realize
So,
that.
yeah, so you need water to and salt. Like don't forget salt. Salt's not bad.
No.
Salt. I mean, your body runs off of water and sodium and potassium. Like you need
It's really like, I mean, too much of any one thing is
bad.
But it's learning the moderation of most things.
Yeah.
You know, and then again, what works for you?
Yeah. Like some people, maybe it's a lot of salt, like gets them and they can't handle it. But me, like I put salt on all my food, a little bit on all my beef, my chicken, my rice, and I'm good. I'm pretty hydrated. I don't really feel too bad. So.
Yeah. And you're not one that really walks around with a water bottle all day either. I mean, you
No.
typically got some water when you're out there training, but I mean, it's
I'll
also
have like a bottle or something and drink, especially when I'm in here coaching. You know, from like say 3 to 5.
yeah.
I'll drink more water because it's so hot and I'm walking around. But
And
like,
you're yelling.
and and I'm losing my voice. But like, I really don't drink too much water. Like, it's not like I'm dehydrated.
Do you have like a goal that you're trying to hit a day?
You know, like if I do like a water load, I'll try to drink like 2 gallons for 2 days, then a gallon and a half, then a gallon, and slowly cut like that. But I mean, as long as I fill up my pre-workout bottle or my muscle milk bottle like 4 times a day, I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay.
Cause I try to start off with a cup of water before my coffee in the morning, just to get your body.
I was
moving.
about to say that when you wake up,
Yeah,
just
just
a
get-
big cup of water.
Just get your bowels moving, everything flowing. You feel so much better rather than drinking a cup of coffee. Like just get the water just to get everything flowing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You haven't drank anything in at least 6 hours, probably more like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. So, but no, that definitely helps. You gotta have your fluids, foods that work for you, and foods that work for your goals. That's the thing too. It's like you see so many either bodybuilders or figure people who just don't eat any food because they think they gotta cut weight, they gotta get lean, they gotta do this. Well, is that really how it works? Like no, like
No,
you can
that is
still
not how
eat.
it
It's
works, yeah.
maybe it's calorie restriction, but it's not just like not eating any carbs or not. You need that. I mean, why do you think they bodybuilders the day like before they get on stage, now before they get on stage, eat like a Snickers or like donuts, and that because the body absorbs all that sugar and carbohydrates, and they're leaner on stage, like they're tight
Huh.
because your body absorbs those carbohydrates and sugars because they haven't been in there.
Oh wow.
So, but like you just have to know what your goals are.
Yeah.
If your goal is to lose weight, well, you either have to take out fats or carbs. Which one's easier and which one actually does it for you? You know what I mean? Like if I took out the carbs, I'd probably get back down like 230, like easily.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But at what cost? How much strength are you going to lose?
Yeah, like I need the carbs in here for my strength. Like
Yeah.
I know I need that. But if I was just doing CrossFit again or endurance stuff, like I don't really.
Where you're already really strong enough for CrossFit.
Yeah.
And then it's trying to get back that go.
Yeah. Or it's like football. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to eat clean and then I would mess up stuff or this or that. But in football, like at Tech, you have training table. They would have like some sort of meat, some sort of carbohydrate, vegetables, then always like some cobbler or some pie or some brown. They just want you to eat food.
Yeah.
Just eat because you're burning so many calories on a football.
Yeah.
Like a typical Division I football player's schedule would be weights at some point during the day, and then
Off season and and
like
during the season?
all year round,
Okay.
all year round. Like so, like in season, it'd be like you'd have weights at least 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, week. Then you would have practice for 2 to 3 hours. So you have an hour of weights, then practice for 2 to 3 hours, right? And then you'd either have film before or after,
Yeah.
and then you would eat. Then you go home, but so you have 4 hours of work you're doing all day, and like, it's not easy at the Division I level. Like, it is not easy practices. Like, you are
No.
going.
Oh, yeah.
You would have like 12 to 16 periods, and like when that whistle was blowing, like you're sprinting to the next drill.
Yeah.
Or even when I was at South, I mean, South might have been even worse because we would have practice. We'd have to get there at like 5 in the morning. We'd be on the field we'd watch film. We'd be on the field at 6 for pre-practice, which was bullshit because offense wouldn't come out till 7. So we'd be on the field for an hour,
Wow.
anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before offense. Offense would come out there. Then we'd practice for 2 or 3 hours. Then say you go to class or you go to weights. Then you come back up there for film, but film would turn to a walkthrough as well. So you're going all day long. So you gotta eat all the food,
And then what was your playing weight?
When I was at Tech, so when I got to Tech, I was about 240, and I was super fast and athletic, but I couldn't move side to side. I was like, I have to fix this. And the only way to fix it was I told myself I got to lose some weight. So I got down to about 225 to 228 when I played at Tech. At South, I was anywhere from like about 230 to 238. I like being right in that 230 to 235 range playing football. I felt the best there. Most athletic.
To move, to be able to stop runs in the hole and then move side to side as a
side
linebacker.
to side. But because like I knew it didn't matter if I lost weight, I was still going to be stronger than 99% of people on the field. I mean, might have been some linemen a little bit stronger than me, but anywhere I was at, when I got the Tech, I was one of the strongest kids on the team, and I was 17. Like from squat, bench, clean, all that stuff, And at South, I was the strongest kid when I walked in on campus.
Gotcha.
Like nobody could touch it. But I knew, staying at 230 like that was fine. Like I wasn't getting pushed around too much. And nowadays, that's what most linebackers are. Some are playing like 220.
Yeah.
In the NFL right now. So like I was that size before.
Yeah, it's kind of going. The average is going down a little bit from what it used because it used to be like when we were younger, it was more like that 245 middle linebacker, right?
They wanted the real good pro guys were like anywhere from 6'3" to 6'5", 240 to 260.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're anywhere from 6 foot to 6'3", but they're 220 to 240, just because the game has changed.
The game's changed and be able to cover the field more, not just stuffing the run, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, you die for that. It's totally different. You just gotta eat everything.
Yeah.
You would have to be smart here and there. Like when I lost the weight, I was a little bit smarter with what I was eating. But like burning so many calories. Like you want to talk about burning calories? Live a week as a football player. Like not during the season.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Weights on Monday, practice on Monday. Weights on Tuesday, practice on Tuesday. Weights on Wednesday, and then you still have conditioning after practice. So you need all those sugars and carbs and fats.
Not to mention you're doing it in gear, which adds to the sweating.
Yeah.
It's hotter. You're carrying the loader. And I know it's, they keep making it all lighter and lighter and lighter, but you're still wearing that helmet.
No,
and the
you're
pads
still wearing
and
the gear, especially if you're down south. At Tech, we had dry heat, so it was still terrible, but down here it was freaking awful.
Oh yeah.
And the worst is we'd practice in the morning, get away from the rain. But it would rain all morning to get outside and just
it was still super humid.
It was awful.
Yeah, and the ground's all soaking wet, so then you're just carrying around all that extra water that's covering your clothes.
It was freaking awful. And then at South, it was a newer team, so like we had really bad food, to be honest with you. It was like going from literally Tech had the #1 cafeteria in the nation. It still might.
Oh wow!
And that was just for everybody.
Yeah.
So we got money to go there, and they fed us after every practice too. But so instance, the cafeteria at Tech, one of them, you had your big calf. You paid your $10 or whatever, and it was like a buffet, which was good. You had all that stuff. It was different places in the world, like Mexico, Japan, America, all that stuff. But then one of the other ones was called West End, and it was just a la carte, pay for it. But literally, you could get fresh lobster cooked. Steak, anything you want. I'm talking lobster tank right there.
Wow.
You had that with the real good food. Then you had a sports bar in the back where you get wings, all that stuff. You had a sandwich place. You had ice cream place where you could buy the giant Rice Krispies that are 3 feet by 3 feet.
Heck yeah.
Literally, we had the best. It was the best food in the nation. Then get south, and it was probably the same cafeteria when you were there.
It probably was.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
They built a new one last year, but the food was so bad. It was it was hot dogs and hamburgers and pizza. I was like, what is this? How we can't fuel our bodies off of this.
That's typical college kid food, but you're an athlete.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then for practice they gave us Uncrustables. That was the freaking worst. Now
I know some people love those things. I've never been one of them.
We had
I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I've never liked Uncrustables.
Every day we had Uncrustables.
Every day.
Before practice.
Must have been some kind of sponsorship or something.
Dude, I think it's because we bitched so much, having to be there at 5 in the morning, and we didn't have any food.
Yeah.
When Rink gets back, you need to ask him about the Uncrustables, because that was kind of at the end. I think I started feeding them just chicken biscuits and Chick-fil-A. Dude, we had Uncrustables. It was terrible. The kids now at every college level, they have no idea how good they have it, because we'd have Uncrustables, and then that was all they give us. They give us a meal, unlimited meals. But like I said, when you go to the calf and it's hamburgers, pizza. Fuck, what am I supposed to? I would go in and get a veggie patty.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, put this in the oven for me, like a fake ass veggie hamburger, because like I didn't want to eat fried food and stuff or pizza for every meal.
Yeah. So speaking of college athletes nowadays, the biggest news, the name, image, likeness thing. As a former D1 player that definitely had some looks at the league before you got injured. I mean, you made the Senior Bowl, so odds are somebody would have come knocking.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on that name, image, likeness deal?
I think that they'll take it away next year. I think they'll do. What I think is NCAA is doing it. Me and AJ talked about this. Is we think they're going to do it this year because they want to, pay the players they've been playing, and then some shit's going to happen. And like, we told you we shouldn't have done this. It was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because like these kids are going to have to get taxed. These kids are going to blow their money. One, they're going to blow the money they're getting. They're going to have to get it's taxable income.
Oh yeah.
So like their kids are going to get like in trouble with the IRS. But I mean, it's not fair. Like, you can't.
That's what I think this is going to be. I think
it's not a good look if your quarterback, say, gets $10,000 and offensive lineman get nothing.
Yeah.
How is that fair?
Yeah.
That's not. Those are the ones that are protecting him and helping him do his job.
Whereas the quarterbacks, odds are, I mean, even at a smaller school like South, the quarterback's still probably treated like a god. Well, because he's the show pony.
Here's the thing too: if you're on full scholarship, and this is what gets me on my nerves, and hear these basketball players a few years ago talking about they didn't have money for food or this or that. Like, I don't believe you. You're lying. I know you're lying because I was at two different schools, and we got different things, but we still got stuff paid for. So at Virginia Tech, this was like 2008, 2009, 2010. I mean, we got like $4,000 a month to live off of. Right, like that's decent.
$1,000.
I'm sorry, not $4,000 a month.
Oh.
We might have got. Let me think. How was it? I think it might have been. How was it? It was something where if you had a roommate, like, you were good. I can't exactly remember. It might have been $6,000 for the semester, so it was like $2,000 a month. Plus you got money for Thanksgiving. Plus you got bowl money. Plus you got fed every day after practice.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were having to pay for most of
everything.
your meals.
But no, so like say like you get, but I think now like they actually they give kids money every month. Where then it was like, here's your check for the semester or whatever.
Gotcha.
So I think South you get like, I forgot what it is. But here's the thing. You want to complain about not getting enough money. Like, I think they should get more money. Like, don't get me wrong. I think every student athlete that's on full scholarship should probably get like $3,000 a month. Or $2,000 a month. That's $1,000 for rent, $1,000 for food. I think that's fair. That's totally fair. But they want to bitch and moan about not having money.
And the rent. So most scholarship athletes these days aren't. Oh yeah, because they got rid of athletic dorms.
Well, the school, it just depends on the school. Like, every school is different.
Yeah.
So like every school, they might have it, they might not have it, but it's different depending on the university. But for instance, you're getting money. It's very frustrating because we do need more money as student athletes, which they're getting. They got that when I was a GA. They got cost of tuition. So you had kids getting, like, I think a semester. Some kids are getting like $8,000 to $10,000 a semester with cost of tuition and scholarship money.
Yeah.
And then if you get Pell Grant, like, I understand, like, a lot of kids come from bad areas, bad upbringing, and like they might send that Pell Grant money home. But my experience is not many send it home. So when you got cost of tuition, a full scholarship, and full Pell Grant money, some of these kids are walking around with like $50,000 to $60,000 a year given to them. So how do you not have money for food or for this?
Yeah.
If the school and the government's giving you,
you may not have the same amount as a professional athlete, but they're also a professional athlete.
Like anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I think we should get more money. I think there should be a flat rate for every university, depending on the level, not the level, but there's major D1, small D1, but like where you're at, like, it's cheap to live here in Alabama, but it's not cheap to live in Miami.
No.
Some of those schools are.
Yeah, but
so
don't they have to, I mean, at some point they're going to have to try and level that playing field, because then it'll be, I mean, let's face it, Alabama and Auburn, schools like that already have an advantage over a school like South, because they're in the SEC, they're gonna compete.
But those bigger schools are gonna get more money too. Like,
and
that's what gets me about kids that say they don't have money. Like, I don't believe any of that. Like, yes, you should get more money. Like, if you want to take a girl out on a date, you should have some money to do that because you can't get a job.
No. Yeah, you don't have time. You literally
don't have time. And usually they won't hire you because if someone, say you do get hired from someone outside of the university to do something, someone could report you and then you get in trouble because they hired you because you're an Alabama football player. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, yes, you should get more money, but you shouldn't be paying the kids. It's stupid. It doesn't make zero sense to me. Like, you're in school, you're getting your school paid for. I mean, like,
I paid for my school, and I mean, getting school paid for is a big.
Yeah, I mean, I paid for my last semester of grad school because I wanted a real job because it was hard to live off of what they paid a grad student, and it was $4,000 for an internship, for two internship hours in my last class. $4,000. Like, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 for some of these universities that are paying for your school and giving you money to live off of, and it's very frustrating. There's so many emotions because as a student athlete, you want to get paid, you want this, but in reality, like, you should be smarter with the money that they're giving you and not blow it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many times when kids would get money that, like, new shoes, new rims, new cars, new grills, new clothes, and all of a sudden the next month is up and they can't pay their rent. Like, that's on you for blowing your money on dumb stuff.
Oh, I mean, even being, non-student athlete world, those loan checks, the student loan checks go out, and all of a sudden, like, everybody's balling for a month, and then the next month they're like, eating. You see the big case of ramen noodles come in from mom. It's like, all right, man, you could have budgeted that a lot better.
I think there's going to be issues because kids are not going to know what to do about taxes. So say if some kid got $100,000 from somewhere, a kid's going to spend $100,000, majority of that money. Even if
he's going to spend $120,000.
Even if he only spends, say he buys a new car, he's going to buy a nice car, probably $50,000 to $60,000, and that other $30,000 is going to go to other things. Well, the other $30,000 is what taxes are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, if you make $100,000, you're going to pay like 30 some grand, anywhere from 20 to 30 grand taxes. So
easily,
if you get $100,000, you better put that 20 to 30 away.
Yep.
Because the government's gonna come asking for it at the end of the year. Because whoever's giving that money as a sponsor, they're writing it off, and they're gonna send you a W-9
and that kid's not gonna be smart enough to haggle. They're like, I got $100,000. I'll just pay the sticker price. They're not, they don't know how to haggle.
So like, kids are gonna get screwed with that. So I think that it'll go away in a year or so. The only good one I saw two. I like what Barstool's doing. They're giving kids free shirts, giving them pizza, giving them tickets to events.
That guy got on there. He goes, if you're an athlete and you want a shirt or you want this, every one of you, absolutely.
And then he's helping them out. He's not giving them money, but he's trying to get them into events and things which is great.
Yeah,
help them out. Or like I saw, it was a top team. It was an MMA gym in Florida. It might have been Top Team. One of those big gyms in Florida is paying every scholarship athlete at Miami, every football player, as a whole, over $500,000. Like, they're going to get, I think, $500 to $600 a month for endorsement deals and things like that, which is fair. Think about it. The entire scholarship football team is going to make I think $3,000 to $6,000 a semester.
Yeah,
or not semester, a year. Which is great. That's good. I don't think anybody would bitch about that, getting an extra $500 a month.
Yeah.
To post on Instagram about American Top Team.
Exactly.
And he's giving it to every scholarship football player.
Yeah, it's one check's going to the program to be divided up equally amongst the
because
players.
There's going to be animosity if
exactly.
If some kid starts getting all this money and starts acting different, and then.
Which is easy for a kid to do.
Yeah, and that's going to piss a lot of kids off. Trust me. I mean, it would make you mad when. When I was at Tech, people were getting money from somebody.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I getting money? I was playing just as good. I was making, player of the games and stuff. I never got paid anytime I played, but I knew kids did.
Yeah.
It's just it's just animosity. It just gets on nerves.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do it, it needs to be like he's doing in Miami. Because that's fair. You know what? I have no issue with that.
I think that's a smarter way to do it than just kind of letting it be the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. How much is Milo's paying the two quarterbacks at Auburn and Alabama to do their sweet tea? You know what I'm saying? If they're giving them $10,000, that's gonna piss off the O-line or this or
the O-line or the defense
or somebody.
And
people that don't get the love. It's not.
Offense tends to get more attention because they score touchdowns, they get highlights, but if you don't have defense, and defense is so easily overlooked individually.
Yeah.
Like defense tends to be more of a unit where offense, like there's positions that stand out.
I've even heard, like I was talking to AJ, like I mean, he's well off. He still plays in the league. Like he's very does well. But he was like, what about? He's like, he doesn't care about getting money back pay for him. But he was like, well, what about all my teammates who didn't make it?
Yeah.
Who won all those national championships and stuff. Like that Alabama made all the money off of those teams. Because like you had McElroy was the first national title, and then when AJ was there, it was like they were there every year.
Yeah, he got
2 national titles. He was like a Heisman runner-up. So like those years he was playing,
Yeah.
like they were selling some Alabama merchandise,
Oh, yeah.
tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the school was those 4 or 5 years, like they were making money off those kids. Like he doesn't want anything. Everybody's like, what about his teammates who didn't make it? But
Yeah.
we're part of the process of building Alabama to where it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, or he was saying like, what about Nick Saban? Like he owns a couple Mercedes dealerships. Why can't he give his kids cars now?
Yeah, well then
but that's
what I'm saying. That's one of the things I was hinting at earlier. Is like, is that just and I'm an Alabama fan of being born there, but is that not going to make it easier for the top Power 5 schools to get that many more players?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've already got a recruiting genius like Nick Saban. Well, if he's able to, all right, if you make the starting lineup, you get to drive a Mercedes.
Yeah.
For the 2 years you're a starter.
Well, I mean, it's just like the
Is
coaches.
that automatically going to pull more of them
that's
in?
probably what's going to happen because I mean, all the coaches, like I remember at Tech, they all were like with Chevy dealerships or Ford dealerships. They drove new cars every couple months.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why would Joe Bullard or what is the other UJ not sign a deal with South? All the starters get to drive a car.
Yeah, it's under a lease. Blah, 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 boom.
You can only
pay the
drive it so
insurance.
many miles. Like you pay the insurance, but
Yeah.
like this is your car while you're there.
Yeah.
Like why would that not? And they just write that off. Like
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll turn around and sell it as a used car,
what I'm
as
saying?
a certified used.
so those big universities, like I mean, that's what I would do. I would get those dealerships trying to hey like. Let's get these kids some cars. Let's work a deal out. Like, so we don't like actually do it legit now instead of like before, like they were doing it under the table.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Is it going to dilute the overall? Yes, I love having
But at the same
Alabama
time, like,
compete
what about the other sports now?
Exactly.
Like so you say your big football player's getting this, but then your girl softball player who's like a 4-time All-American. Waffle House gives her like free breakfast every day. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a huge discrepancy of like the guy football player and this like there's gonna cause a lot of animosity inside of the athletic department.
Where there already is a lot of animosity, right? I mean, we've heard about it. I know since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, football players get all the money. Well,
I mean it generates them.
It generates more money, but in college sports, they're trying to keep it as even as possible.
I mean, like with Title IX, I'm sure I don't think it's going to last very long. I think in a year or two it'll be gone because they're going to be like, we told you this is what's going to happen. That's what they're going to come out in 2 years and say, we told you so, this wasn't going to work, this wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Just to throw in everybody's face.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have Title IX stuff, you have all these other issues in sports. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's so many things like I could go on about that.
Yeah.
NIL or whatever. So I don't think it's a good move for team sports. If you're individual sports, where like it's just your individual play, like a wrestling or gymnastics or golf or tennis. I mean, you're on the team, but it's more like, hey, like you can make it to national, you can be a national champion by yourself. Track and field,
Yep.
I don't think it's as big of a deal. But like another thing AJ was telling me is like you can't, like if you're a Nike school, Nike can't sign you.
Yeah.
Because you're a Nike school. But he said, well, Adidas could sign him. He just can't wear it on like around Alabama stuff. But all of his social media, he could put Adidas stuff or Under Armour stuff if they would sign him as a college athlete.
Oh wow.
It's like there's gonna be issues. Like I don't think they thought this through. Or maybe they thought it through. Like, hey, this is gonna screw a lot of universities up. Let's just make them do it and show them that they need us to govern it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think is gonna happen in a year or two. The NCAA is gonna come down like, hey, we told you we should govern this. This shouldn't have been through. Kids are gonna get in trouble. I mean, they're gonna get. I mean, you really can't even have agents now, but how are you going to deal with
Yeah,
this?
how are you going to do that? How are you going to properly handle that kind of money without an agent or a manager?
Yeah.
Which you can't have as a college athlete.
Yeah, especially these big, like the ones that are going to make big money.
Yeah.
I mean, like I remember like Master P had something set up to where his kid gets $2 million now as endorsement sales through like some business. $2 million. Or like social media stuff, like they were talking. I was a gymnast either in Alabama or one of these big powerhouse schools has the most followers as a NCAA athlete.
Yeah, there's something like it's like some twin
So she's
gymnasts or volleyball players or something out in California.
Buku money's off of social media now, which hey, look like it.
And that's a little bit different,
different.
though, because that's kind of her brand,
following.
And that's her, not
YouTube,
somebody giving her money.
Like YouTube, like if you're making money off of YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, just because of your own brand, and they're paying you because so many people watch it and there's ads, like that's cool. Like making money.
That they should absolutely be able to do all day long.
But I mean, like it's crazy, man. It's just I would like to get some athletes on here and see what they really think.
Yeah, it's a can of worms.
Really talk to them because they're gonna want. We want this. We do this. I'm like, all right. Well, how much? What's the check you get every month? Tell me exactly how much money you get every month.
Yeah.
Tell me how much. What's your bills
yeah? Where does your money go?
Yeah, because it doesn't go. And like I said, they get more money now than they've ever gotten.
Yeah.
From cost of tuition to scholarship. I mean, just think if say you get $5,000 a year or $5,000 a semester of scholarship money, and then you get cost of tuition, which depending on where you live, like if you're out of state, you get more. Or when I was there, they can get. They don't tell you this. They don't tell the kids this. But if they want a kid, they can give him more money.
They know how to shuffle it.
They can shuffle the money around. So if they really want a kid, hey, you're gonna get $3,000 cost tuition where everybody else is getting $2,000. Just don't tell anybody. Like.
Yeah.
So if you're getting $9,000 a semester, what are you doing with that as a college kid? If your rent, you have two to four roommates, your rent's probably $400. Your groceries may be $500 a month. Like it's just, I like to get some college athletes on here, but they're gonna be like, we need to get paid. They're making money off of us. Like I get they're making money off of you, but
they're also giving you a bunch of money.
Giving you a bunch of money and giving you a scholarship for school.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing I'm talking about. To be, I know how much in my 4 years that was.
Well, I know how much like my sister has in like student loans. Right, like I don't have any student loans, but like when my sister has student loans, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't think
tuition, books,
or
stuff
like,
adds
or
up.
I was talking to somebody who was like, like just give them. You know what? You want to pay them? Just pay them, but then they got to pay for everything.
Yeah.
They have to pay for their tuition, books. You want to give them money? You know what? Instead of paying for their scholarship, give them $100,000 a year. See what happens. Like it.
Oh yeah.
Like
it'd be very different. It'd be a very different world. So. All right, we're over an hour.
Yeah, well, maybe when Rink gets back on here, he can talk about it because he's a little bit fresher in the college athletics since he's graduated a couple years ago. And even next time we have Chase on here, have him talk about it because he's around kids all the time.
Yeah,
and he's not going to bullshit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a very slippery slope. I think if more people do it the way that Miami did it, from American top team, whatever, it has to be top team. That's stuck in my head. I think that's fair.
Yeah, take care of the
entire
all the kids.
Everyone that's on scholarship
yeah.
has the opportunity to make that much money.
Yeah.
But when you start
picking and choosing, I think like you said, the animosity, the taxes, there's too many pitfalls for them.
Yeah,
I worry about it.
Especially when they have plenty of money coming in scholarship.
And I love college sports. I can turn on
it's going to change
any game on a Saturday.
It's going to change it. Like college sports will never be the same if they continue it because now it's professional sports.
Yeah.
Like then why are you even go to college?
Exactly.
Like why not just go overseas just like some of the basketball players are doing and like skip college sports? It's a very slippery slope.
Yep.
Maybe we got to get some student athletes on here and kind of see what they think.
That'd be great.
Try to see if we can get something on here. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, maybe not current. If we can get some that recently graduated, so they're not, just so they don't get in trouble from the sports information department or whatever.
Yeah. No, for sure. Or maybe I could try to
get anybody in trouble.
Get somebody who. I tell you, I'll try to get Coach Schwinn on here because he was a DFO at South for a while. After he was a strength coach, and like he knows like all that stuff, all the numbers, all the details. Like he'll like be like, no, they get this is how much money they got, and it's stupid that they're getting paid.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, if you can't live off of $6,000 a semester, like as a college kid, like what are you doing? It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But all right, that was a good one talking about diet, and then we went into the damn college athletics, and
Good stuff.
When's the CrossFit Games? When are you leaving for that?
So I leave out the CrossFit Games start. Castro announced they're going to do that first event on that Wednesday, the 27th, 28th, I believe is that Wednesday. So I fly out on that Saturday morning, the 24th. Get into Madison, and then we start. I'm on the fan experience team. So me and the guy that I work for, we've got Willow Island, which is where all the campers are.
Yeah.
So we start moving in campers on Sunday, both the RV campers, and then there's powered tents, non-powered tents, and then there's what they call RX camping, the glamping, where like you show up and there's a tent set up for you. It's got an air conditioner, it's got bed, it's got all that stuff in there.
Yeah.
So we move all those folks in. So be a lot of backing in RVs that first couple days. The most popular question we get is when is the gray and Blackwater truck coming so they can pump out the different RV units, and then there's 1, 2, 3 different shower units that the games bring in for those campers to be able to use. And then I'm sure this year being the first year after last year where we couldn't go, like Ethan was supposed to go with us that was working at the gym. He was supposed to be a volunteer, but he couldn't. And when I talked to our team lead, she said there's some people having to back out left and right for travel reasons or whatever. So I'm sure it'll be more of an all hands on deck type thing.
What have they said about the game? Are they like wide open? Like they don't like?
So
what's the deal?
As a volunteer, if you haven't been vaccinated, you're gonna have to be tested when you first get there. But as long as you pass that test, you're good. And then if you've been vaccinated, as long as you show proof of vaccination, you're good. Like as soon as you get there. So I'm assuming that'll be the same. I've not seen for attendee for fans and spectators, but I'd be willing to bet it's got to be a similar type thing.
It's probably the same because I know like for the Nationals it was for fan and spectators it was either you got not even fans and spectators. No, I know for competitors you had to have a test or a vaccine card.
Yeah.
For spectators, I really just think either you had to wear a mask or you had your vaccine card. And you had your vaccine card, but nobody even cared. I'm sure it's gonna be the same up there. Like once you're outside and you're in, it's probably gonna be pretty lax. They probably won't let you around the athletes like normal.
Yeah. The last email I saw was if you're gonna be in close contact with the athletes, and all of us will be. Yeah. Because of there's no telling. Especially the team I'm on, like we end up having to help move equipment around. We take them water. We do all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Even though technically we fall under fan experience. Yeah. We do a little bit of everything. Yeah. And I was standing next to Matt Frazier 2 years ago in 2019. Right after he won. So, but I'm vaccinated. I'm good to go, man. Yeah. But yeah, fly out the 24th, be up there. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a blast. Yeah. And then get back Monday the 2nd, I think, of August. And then I took that Tuesday off just to have a day to decompress and get my legs back under me before I go back to work. But looking forward to that. We got the weightlifting meet coming up the 28th of August.
Yeah, people need to sign up. I mean, if you're, it has everything on there. If you're not USAW, you just message me. We can work around that so you can still do the meet. Because I know people don't want to pay an extra $70.
Easiest way to message you via Instagram?
Yeah, just DM me on Instagram.
Yep.
Or Facebook or whatever. If you want to sign up for that. But I mean, it should be pretty fun. Probably I'd like a lot of people to sign up so more money's coming in, so then the next one we can have like some really cool prizes.
Yeah.
Because this one, it's still with COVID and weightlifting's not big in Alabama, but like I want to give out barbells and cash prizes.
That'd be awesome.
But it's like you got to have the money coming in so you can build that pot for the next time.
So we'll have that, and then you're still doing beach ball in September, right?
Yeah, I got
with Anthony and Hunter.
Get in shape. Yeah, I'm probably.
And then Rink had to drop out. Who's going to be the fourth?
We don't know. We still have to.
Still looking.
We got to still find somebody. But like with me doing so bad at nationals, like I'm kind of more focused on the weightlifting. Like I'm gonna do the cardio. I'm gonna do some conditioning at night every night.
Yeah.
Just for that fun in September. But like I'm still focused on.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. That's your sport.
Yeah, I need to go like 165, 170 in December. Like I can do it. It's just like doing it on stage.
Yeah.
Like on the snatch, like snatch stand 370 on stage. Like I can do it.
Yeah.
Just gotta
Which
do
is
it
the
on
toughest
stage.
thing. You got to do it right then, that one time, and be perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I think on Fridays, what I'm probably gonna do is maybe kind of like comp setup training. Like if I miss 3 times, like I'm done.
Gotcha.
Like I'll go to my drop sets if there's drop sets, but like no more. Like I have 3 attempts.
Yeah. Smart.
Like just to get
Get yourself in that right
like no
mind
headphones,
space. Yeah.
no music, just like 3 attempts on like heavy days to get it. And if I feel good, go up. But like just to get, hey, like fuck, I missed it. Like
Smart.
I can't do this on stage, so I can't do it now.
Smart. We'll see what else we got. There's t-shirts out there. The NWO style t-shirts.
I need to make a post about those because we got the NWO style shirts, and then I'm going to I want to get the teal, whatever the blue ones we made before.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna put those out there too, so we have 2 styles.
Sweet.
Because people really like the blue and pink ones.
Did Rink show you the one I made?
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude, I think you're gonna like this a lot. Let me get to it. I'm pretty proud of this design.
Well, Bacon's bringing that up. Another thing we have in the works.
Check that out.
That is pretty sweet. Where did you make that?
I actually had an artist make it. I told him what I wanted. Like, you guys kept wearing the West Side shirts, and I was like, I need to get me one of those. And then I went, wait a minute, hold on. No. I went to South.
It says Savage on the plates.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, look at this. Well, would you wear that shirt?
Yeah. That's pretty
Like
cool.
a West Side shirt, but South Side with a Jaguar.
Okay, I kind of like that.
That is cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
No, we definitely.
Yeah. So check out. Just keep your eyes open for a post. I'll probably be selling those. But it's a pretty sweet design. If you're familiar with West Side Barbell, we kind of did our own version of that.
That's sick. But all right, you can find me at amp performance _performance at Instagram.
Yep, I'm built of bacon on Instagram is the easiest way to find me.
Just like this, subscribe, follow. I don't even know. It should be on Apple Podcasts now. I don't know. The Apple Podcast is so weird.
It takes about 10 days, and then once you get the first one, then it's instant from there on out.
It's super weird. Like it tells me like the image doesn't work. Like it's being super weird. But you can find us on everything else, and like I post it. Just subscribe on the YouTube. The Podbean link should be on Spotify now, and just subscribe, share it. The more you guys download and share it, the more content we can put out.
Yep.
And
Leave us a
other things we can
review
do.
if there's topics y'all want to hear us talk about. If you have questions, whatever. Please hit us up.
All right. See
All
you
right,
guys
y'all.
next time.
Later.